Okay. My name is Wiida Basson. I'm a media officer and science writer for the Faculty of Science at Stellenbosch University. I'm also a part-time science journalist writing about science and scientific issues. Today was our third annual SADC Regional Science Journalism Training Program. It started in 2022 with the World Science Forum, where a number of institutions came together and quite by accident, by random, to a large extent, and said, we need to build science communication capacity in the SADC region. There are so many stories to be told, they are not being told. We're doing really good science, but nobody knows about it. So the people involved are DSTI, the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation. It is driven by the SADC Secretariat. UNESCO's regional office in Southern Africa is involved, and then other local partners is the Human Sciences Research Council, me from Stellenbosch University, our journalism department, our Centre for Collaboration in Africa. We've got a chair in science communication, so there's a strong support from Stellenbosch University for this whole thing. And then this year ASAF also became involved, and then another big partner is the National Research Foundation, SADC's agency, where they have this program where they put journalism interns at mainstream media, and they have to write and talk and produce about science. So today we had over 80 delegates from 8 SADC countries, including another 60 journalists from South Africa. We had scientists in the audience, we had officials, and it was really one of, I think, from all 3 workshops, this one was like one of the best. Some of the topics, so how we put together the program is every year we try to do it differently to make it interesting, but we also, the most important thing is for journalists out there to be aware of this science beat, and then also to somehow self-identify a science journalist, to say, but I can also be a science journalist. It is not something that is just out there that only a few people are doing, and that actually, as Leonie said in her presentation now, science should be everywhere and we should be talking about it. So our main objective with this is to get a lot of journalists from the SADC region in the same room, and only to achieve that is already quite something, because it is very expensive. We need UNESCO Rosa to bring, and the SADC Secretariat to bring those people in, so that we sit in the same room and we talk about issues that are common to all of us. And I think, for example, one of the highlights today was Professor Sostin Chiotto from Malawi's presentation about what is happening in Malawi and how Malawi is an example of what is happening in the entire region. And I don't know about you, but that was impressive, and I want to get that presentation and I want to get those facts into my stories. So that is one part of sensitizing the journalists and making them aware of the science. And the other one is to give them opportunities for networking, to be able to sit in the same room as a journalist from Namibia or Botswana or Zimbabwe or Zambia, Mozambique. Last year we had Madagascar as well, and to be in the same room with them. And then we join them on the WhatsApp group afterwards, the African Science Journalism WhatsApp group. And then when you engage then on that WhatsApp group, you actually have seen somebody else eye to eye. You know how that person looks. You've made a few jokes, but there was a lot of jokes today, and that is what we want to achieve. And we want to do it again and again until we build such a big community of people, journalists in the SADC region that are interested in science, so that we can start having immersive, deep dive into the science kind of workshops, where it's not just a general thing, but you really take time, you get the experts to talk to the scientists, the journalists can talk amongst each other. How are we going to report this? How are we going to tell the general public out there what the hell is this about, and not use scientific jargon?
So the short end of it, you achieved some of the key objectives. One of the things that actually touched me was the lady from Lesotho.
Yes. So we also today brought Pascalinah Kabi from Lesotho in. She's the founder and editor-in-chief of Uncensored News. She was one of our the first SADC journalists to attend in 2022, and then we actually had 4 days at Stellenbosch where we had like workshops. And since then, she's joined the WhatsApp group and she has been sharing the stories that she has been doing. And on the basis of that, we invited her back to as a guest speaker today.
And the passion behind some of your panelists, from selling your flats to...
Yes, yes. Yes, so Leonie Joubert is a South African journalist who have literally sold her flat in the middle of this year after she went through a rather serious bout of depression, in the sense of she's kind of screaming about climate change and seeing what is happening around us, but it is as if nobody is listening. And she has literally now worked her way around with support from various benefactors to be able to, she bought a van, a little Volkswagen van that she packed up in the back with her cats, cat lady, and she's identified about 8 to 10 areas in Southern Africa where she wants to go and tell her story, where she wants to go and engage with the local people. It is places where the traditional or the mainstream media doesn't necessarily go, and she's telling those stories, selling them as well to support herself. But there's so what is interesting for me about Leonie is also finding a different way of doing journalism, because we can't do that in the mainstream. We've heard quite a lot of times today how difficult it is in the mainstream media to tell these stories. So there has to be a different way of doing it. And I hope that through building these networks at opportunities like this, that we enable people to start telling those stories that really matter.
So for a young journalist or any journalist out there who probably would love to connect with what we have going on here, how do they reach, how do they connect, where are you found, and all sorts of nice things like that, because access is always a problem for journalists.
Yes. So at the moment we have just a very small web page on the Stellenbosch University page. We are doing this with very little resources. So all the partners that I've mentioned earlier, the Human Sciences Research Council, UNESCO, DSTI, we all contribute in kind what we can. So for example, for this event, DSCI is obviously giving the most, and UNESCO as well. But every partner has brought something to the table, whether it is a speaker, whether it's gifts for the speakers, things like that. So everybody. So that what I'm saying then is that we have very little resources. So at the moment we have a small website called the SADC Science Journalism Program. So if you Google that, I hope you will find it. And then what we try to do is with this WhatsApp group, you, for example, the people that are already on the WhatsApp group, you can invite fellow journalists to come and join. We hope to go much larger in the future as we build critical mass, so that more journalists come to know about us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh no.
Always last word.
Always last word. Maybe just to emphasize, I want to emphasize again how absolutely unique this gathering of institutions and partners are in making this event happen. I said this morning that it was literally, from the first time that we did it, the second time, and now the third time, is really like a miracle, because there's so many strings to things that needs to come together before this event can happen. And I think that's what makes it so special, and the people there. Thank you.